What's good, everybody? We got a special video. Can you guys find my IG at Cash Nasty? Now, we reacted to a Jimmy Highballer, you know, that video about Westbrook. How we are technically wrong because where Westbrook actually averaging triple-double, he does better for the team than bad, blah, blah, blah. Now, the comment section, it was very controversial. I admit, I read through all the comments. And I made another point when I was asking, do you guys think there's more talent in this generation than was in the past? And I explained why I feel like it is. And I read all the comments, right? Now, this video here is basically the complete opposite, all right? So, we're not just going to be one-sided, you know, with the Jimmy video. He got facts, but this video here might got facts as well. So, you guys told me, Cash, don't be, biased. Just react to the video, react to this one. Westbrook may be the most delusional player in NBA history. His last few games performances, it's been tough. Look at the video.
Russell Westbrook has always been one of the most polarizing players in the league, but now with him joining the Lakers, it's to a whole new degree. Now, quick disclaimer. If you are a Russell Westbrook stan in any way, please just click off the video. You're not going to like me. You're going to unsubscribe. You're going to call me a hater. You're probably going to send me a DM on Twitter. Like, you're just not going to like me. So I'm advising you to not watch it in advance. I respect that. Right now, if you simply look at the numbers, it would lead you to believe that Russell Westbrook has been playing great when that's simply not the case. Now, what inspired this video is Russell Westbrook's recent comments after that 9-turnover game against the Timberwolves where he had 7 turnovers in the first half. And he pretty much said, I'm allowed to miss shots. I'm allowed to have turnovers and things like that. I can affect the game in different ways. That statement alone is just so goddamn delusional. And
it is. Keep it it is. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like that just... To me, that's like kind of like one-dimensional. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, because I went to go grab a rebound, offensive rebound, put it back. Them last 3 shots I just did don't mean nothing, bro. If you got to play basketball, bro, you ever been on a team with a ball hogger, you know? And he's a ball hogger, he's good, all right? But let's say he missed 2 shots in a row, all right? After you got them playing good defense at the other end, right? And then he go take the 3rd shot. That's going to cause a whole lot of anger. And the morale of the whole team gonna go down. Like, bro, shut the rock, bro. Like, why would I want to go try on defense when you just gonna come out here and thinking that you superior to everybody? It's factors too, y'all. If you gotta play street ball, whatever it is, you got that ball hog, you guys know what I'm talking about, bro. He can be super nice. But dog, if you miss 2-3 jumpers in a row, bro, we hot.
Actually, I hate when he says that because he went on to name ways that I think he quote unquote affects the game positively outside of his turnovers and missing a bunch of shots. And to me, it's the direct opposite. Like, for example, he named rebounding and boxing out. I'm not saying all his boards are stat chasing boards or anything like that. But a lot of times, Russell Westbrook gets caught actually quitting on the defensive play and trying to chase that board, lingering around the rim, leaving his player wide open on the perimeter, like he did against Patty Mills, like he did against Orlando, where LeBron was pretty much looking at him like, bro, what the hell are you doing?
And I'm not going to be biased. LeBron, he does it a lot too. As LeBron's starting to age more, and not that LeBron looking for the rebound, but on defensive end, especially on the baseline, I started to notice that LeBron's starting to get a little bit more slower, like guarding the guys in the corner and baseline. And like he get distracted from the ball a lot more compared to when he was younger. You know, I got done with LeBron James stands, for a long time. And I'm calling him spade to spade, but he's still a good defender. But no one's perfect, man. So I'm sure Kobe and Jordan had their weaknesses too as an age start. You can't give the exact same energy out when you fucking 37 years old compared when you're 20.
Also, he named making the right plays. He literally said making the right plays. In what way is averaging 5 turnovers and having 7 turnovers in a half and 9 in the game or making the right play? It's the direct opposite.
Facts.
Now, F all the BS. Let's get into the good and the bad of Russell Westbrook. I'm going to detail some of the good things I think he contributed to the Lakers so far, and definitely the bad. Let's start with the good. Russell Westbrook, if anything else, he's going to generate some damn points, and he's always going to get his teammates pretty solid
like he
looks
lift weights
at open threes. It's just the nature of
That
how
boy
he
be-
plays.
boy, that boy be
Even
eating-
at this later
eating,
stage of his career,
dumbbells.
just how ferocious he is at attacking the basket,
Muscle.
it's naturally going to take those wing defenders' attention off of his teammates and onto him, which inevitably gives them open looks. Carmelo Anthony, I mean, he's thrived off of that
Facts.
attention. Austin Reeves, he hit a game winner. Wayne Ellington, he's
But I hate when Westbrook do it on big man. I hate it, bro. I can't stand when he do it. You got know what I'm talking about, bro? When he go off of that to the rack, it's like he got like some type of tension with 7-foot players, bro. It's like, bro, why you even doing a contested shot? It's like he be looking for the foul, but then he don't get the foul. He still, man, you know what? Fuck it. You know, I missed the last layup. I'm gonna do it again. Stop shooting glass shots. Please. This video get me frustrated.
He's gotten a lot of open looks. That's one thing that Russell Westbrook is going to do. Whether it's efficient, whether it comes with 4 or 5 turnovers per game with it, that's just one thing that he's always done. Also, even though it's an extremely small sample size, Russell Westbrook has actually been a pretty solid corner three-point shooter.
Yes.
It may sound very, very specific, and it may sound like I'm reaching,
Yes.
but we all did question how the hell is this floor spacing going to look with LeBron James, who we thought was not the greatest three-point shooter. I mean, that stuff has
Y'all see
changed
that
this
flip?
year. Anthony Davis, who hasn't been a great three-point shooter, and Russell Westbrook, who's a terrible three-point shooter, and him actually being able to stretch the floor from that spot on the court, that's been a positive to that.
But sometimes you got to tell teammates don't even trust Westbrook in the corner. I seen LeBron James actually had a turnover one time when Westbrook was actually open in the corner. It's almost, you know, like LeBron, he's that player. He knows, like, you know, all his players with their best shots. They, you know, who just like when, you know, when Kyrie's on the team, you know, he was that guy to give Kyrie the ball at the right time. You know, you need a type of player. You know. He might be shooting better in the corner, but do you trust it? No.
That team, I can't lie. So that's a good thing for Russell Westbrook. And lastly, Russell Westbrook has played every single game this season. It may sound like a perfect
That's
attendance
good.
award or something
That is
like
good.
that, but if it was one thing that I knew about this season that could not happen, Russell Westbrook couldn't miss games. Out of everybody on this team, he was the biggest misfit, and I felt like he needed the most reps and the most time out there to actually develop his own role because nobody knew what the hell his role is. We still don't. So him actually being there every single night and actually trying to figure it out and being there to figure it out, that's a positive. And I don't take that for
Real
granted.
talk.
He's been able to dodge protocols.
Like,
he hasn't
he
got
putting-
injured. And again, that's a very
I do appreciate Westbrook for that. I do, bro. Cause he actually put in the work for it. You know, he's trying. You know, but oh man, 2 for 14 field goal. You trying way too much.
very good thing for Russell Westbrook. Now on to the negatives. And before I get into the negatives, let me set the tone because I feel like some people are going to say, bro, you didn't even name those triple doubles. What about all these stats? He's averaging damn near a triple. All this. Nobody cares about that. So before I get into the negatives, let me ask this one simple question. And I'm going to answer it because nobody's here to answer it for me. What was Russell Westbrook brought to the Lakers for? Simple question, and I have a simple answer for it. He was brought to the Lakers to make LeBron's job easier. I think it's just that simple. You don't have to get into the complications of how, why, all that. He was brought there to make LeBron's job easier. Simple. I'm going to grade him by that standard and by that scale. I'm not going to grade him for being a upgrade over Rondo or Dennis Schroeder or something like that. I'm going to grade him by that contract that he's making right now, those accolades he has, that MVP he has, and most importantly, what he was brought there for, to make LeBron's job easier and help them win the championship. This year, Russell Westbrook started out his season pretty rough. He hit 15 out of his first 43 shots, which indeed hurts the team whether he believes it or not. And he was turning the ball over at an extremely high clip. Now, Russell Westbrook kind of gave me a little sense of hope the fourth game of the season where LeBron was out. And to me, this was the perfect game for Russell Westbrook.
That's what I thought too. That's what I
felt
thought
like he
too.
was brought there to make LeBron's job easier when LeBron has to miss games due to age and stuff like that. And when Anthony Davis has to miss games due to him just being fragile as hell. Like, that's going to happen. And Russell Westbrook,
I like this guy. He keep it straight up, bro. You know, I like him. He sound like my people.
he was there. That fourth game of the season, no LeBron. He had his breakout game. And to me, that's where I was starting to believe, okay, now I can kind of see why Russell Westbrook was brought here. But then the following game happened. And to me, this was another game that, in my opinion, just had Russell Westbrook's name on it. Like, okay, they playing OKC, his old stomping grounds in OKC. He's back at home. OKC is showing him love. It's not like he's Kevin Durant where he gets booed. They love him there. And he's playing a pretty bad team that's winless at the time. They actually get out to a 20-point lead, blow the 20-point lead. Russell Westbrook has a triple-double, but he also has 10 turnovers and 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Stuff like that just can't happen. Then, literally 1 week later, they see OKC again get out to another lead without LeBron James again, and they still somehow lose that game, giving them their second win. OKC, they got their first 2 wins of this season after losing by 14 points per game to everybody else. They got their first 2 wins against a Lakers team that has like 4 or 5 Hall of Famers on it. Stuff like that, like I said, is just embarrassing. Now, that second OKC loss, that actually started a 8-game stretch of games that they played without LeBron James. He was going through that abdominal stuff, and he still had his ankle. Like, he was going through a bunch of stuff at the time, and that was 8 straight games that they played without LeBron James. In those 8 games, they went 3-5, and 3 of those 5 losses came against teams or were against teams below 500 right now, so they weren't the best teams anyway. Now, I'm not saying it was all Russell Westbrook's fault.
What are you doing?
Now, so they weren't
That's just bad chemistry
the
right
best
there.
teams anyway. Now, I'm not saying it was all Russell Westbrook's fault, but a lot of it was. Like, let me just detail some of the stuff he did without LeBron James. In that second game against Portland, he shot 1 for 13 with 6 turnovers. Then the following game, they actually won it, but he shot 5 for 15 with 7 turnovers. In that 8-game stretch where they went 3-5, 5 of those games, Russell Westbrook had 5 or more turnovers. And I don't care what anybody says, that hurts your team.
Yeah, it does. It hurt me.
This season, the Lakers give up the 6th most points per game off of turnovers. Who do you think most of those turnovers are from? It's from Russell Westbrook. Right now, the Lakers lead the league in possessions. That's not a good stat. That basically means they always turn it over, so they always get the ball right back and have ample opportunities. This year, Russell Westbrook has 17 games with 5 or more turnovers. That's damn near half the games. And when you really look at it, it's at like an abnormal rate. Like, he's actually having his 3rd lowest usage rate percentage of his career, meaning he has the ball in his hands, the 3rd lowest that he's actually had it in his whole career. Yet, even with that being the case, he's still on pace to have his 2nd worst season of all time with turnovers. So he's still turning the ball over at a crazy clip with the ball less in his hands. Also this year, his finishing around the rim, it's been pretty awful.
Awful, disgusting, terrible, despicable, down bad, despisable, atrocious.
It's been better as of late, but it's still pretty bad, and it's just not good enough. Russell Westbrook is shooting 56% this year on dunks. That's an extremely high percentage shot. Last year, just for comparison, he shot 75%. His MVP year, just for comparison, he shot close to 80%. That LeBron hasn't missed 1 dunk all year, and I don't really want to compare that, but I'm just showing you that's a high percentage ass shot, even for a guy like Russell Westbrook, and right now he's damn near making half of them. Also, a lot of his inefficiencies, even at the rim, they've come at the most inopportune times. Like, this man has missed 24 shots at the rim in the fourth quarter. When you need him most, he's missed 24 of those. Also,
Cut out them 4 shots. That's forced, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, look at the perimeter, man. Like, bro, it just it's.
he's missed half of his dunks in the fourth quarter. Also, and like I said, bro, this is just directly hurting the team. I'm sorry.
Pass the ball.
The Lakers are a awful, and I mean awful, free throw shooting team. Like, right now, I think they're like the 28th ranked free throw shooting team right now. A lot of that comes from
Hitting too much weights.
your point guard playing the type of minutes that he does, 35 minutes per night, being their 13th best free throw shooter on their team. That just can't happen. You can't have Russell Westbrook shooting 65% from the free throw line. Like, if he's not going to finish at the rim and he's missing his free throws, that's a lot of missed opportunities to score any type of points. Right now, the Lakers are losing by 1 point per night. 1 point a night. Do you know how different that would be if they could just hit a damn free throw? So, yeah. all the stuff I named, I believe directly hurts their team, and that's why I named it. I could have gone into his defense and stuff like that, and some of the defensive laps they've had with Russell Westbrook watching the ball instead of watching the play and kind of being like an individual player instead of a team defender. But I really feel like collectively as a team, they're terrible on defense, so I didn't want to hone in on Russell Westbrook specifically, even though he has been, in my opinion, bad as well. But the stuff that I did name, the turnovers, that's directly hurting the team. They're the 26th ranked team as far as opponent points per game off of turnovers. The missed shots at the rim, that's pretty bad, like I said. And the missed free throws, that's hurting their team. So I had to name those. If you guys like this video, if you guys like this style of video.
Good video, brother. My people. Look, bro. We know what comments you guys feel, bro. I'm not saying Westbrook is a bad player. I'm not saying he's trash. I just personally feel, from what I have observed and what I have seen throughout my observation of watching Westbrook, he's just not a good fit for the Lakers. Still, for another play, I feel like he could still go to New Orleans, bro, and still, be a triple-double almost over there, do his thing. But for the talent we got here in LA, bro, not it, bro. Let me know what you guys think, bro. Down in the comments. We out here, man. Yeah.